Hello, everyone. Thank you again for tuning to another episode of Her Inspired Mind podcast. I have a question for you. Do you find yourself feeling down, depressed, fatigued, tired, restless, sleepless a lot? If that's you, I have something to tell you. You might need to change your diet. I know at first you're probably thinking like, girl, like I love my snacks. I have my favorite foods. I can't let those things. But listen to me. Years ago, when I was suffering from severe anxiety, depression, fibromyalgia, brain fog, just not being able to sleep sometimes for days, when I went to this natural doctor, he told me to eliminate a few things from my diet. And I was like, but I love those things, right? But what helped me to take action and make a change in my diet was the fact that I felt like I was dying. I was like, all right, maybe I should listen to this doctor. Maybe I should stop eating these things. So what were the things he told me to stop eating? Well, sugar for one. I used to try to self-soothe. Well, I did self-soothe with sugar. If I bought 2 Snickers bars, guess what? They were both going down. If I had some Hershey with chocolate almonds, they were both going down. I didn't save nothing for later. Like I wanted it all in that moment. And I also began to eat only grass-fed meat, drinking a lot of water, no juice or soda, eating just more fresh fruit, more vegetables. And believe it or not, guys, like little by little, I began to notice a huge change on my mood, on my energy, on the way that I was sleeping. And it transformed my life. So, I just stopped eating those bad foods because I was starting to feel good. And because I wanted to feel good, right? And so I've encountered a lot of friends along the way that they've shared with me. For example, they have fibromyalgia, and I've sat down with them and I'll make a whole list of a meal plan and things they should eliminate from their diet. And they just look at me like, oh, but I love that. And I love sugar and I love snacks, you know? And it's sad. It makes me sad because, like, that food that you're eating is causing you what you're feeling. So it's like, do you really want to live the rest of your life feeling like crap, not sleeping, being in pain, just so you can enjoy the moment of eating a certain food? There are so many alternatives out there that you can replace for those favorite foods that you have. A lot of times people, they prefer to get medication, prescription drugs, and all that does is it just puts a band-aid. It doesn't get to the root of the problem. And so the foods that you are eating, they affect greatly how you feel, how you think. If you're going to have anxiety, if you're going to have depression, it all affects you. I always use the analogy. If you were to put, let's say, some dirty gasoline in your car, how's your car going to run? Or if you're going to make some fried chicken, are you going to cook it in some dirty oil that's burnt? That's going to taste nasty, right? And it's probably going to make you feel sick. So the foods that you eat have a huge impact, guys. I want you to get this. The foods that you're eating are probably what's making you sick. You probably don't even need to be on all these different medications. And I'm not saying the medications are completely bad. I know they help a lot of people. But if you can help yourself simply by changing what you're putting in your mouth, into your body, why not try? So, for example, for me, if I now have some sugar, whether it's a cookie or cake or ice cream, within an hour, I can sometimes notice my mood will change. I'll start to feel sad. I might start getting emotional. I might start crying. And even with alcohol, like there's people that get angry when they drink, right? There's people that get happier when they drink. And it's because whatever we put in our body affects greatly how we feel, think, and act. So I highly suggest if you are struggling with your mental health, First of all, make sure you're drinking a lot of water, and try to stop self-soothing with alcohol or other substances. Like, make a commitment to yourself. Like, do it for you. Do it for how you want to feel on a daily basis. I challenge you, take 30 days for the next 30 days and start to take care of yourself better. That's part of self-care. We want to always talk about self-care, right? But what you're putting in your body, that's a huge part of self-care. Like, take care of your temple. Like, this is the only physical body that you have. Do you really want to continue living for years with depression hanging over your head, anxiety, panic attacks, pain all over your body with fibromyalgia, and not living each day, but you're just simply surviving? Knowing that if you just simply start to make some subtle changes in your diet, that you could feel so much better. So I shared a little bit about what I used to eat, right? So eliminating sugar as much as you can from your diet. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know. I was addicted for many, many years. Like, I had so much sugar in my body that my doctor told me that my body couldn't process it. So sugar, it not only causes inflammation in your joints in your body, but it causes inflammation in your brain. It causes brain fog. It makes you feel depressed. It brings you down. So, some alternatives are coconut sugar or honey. I love to use honey, especially in my tea. Dates. Like, there's recipes. If you look up, for example, like paleo diet recipes or just raw diet, there's a raw diet. I forget the website that it was, but I used to make brownies from there. I used to make ice cream. Like, if you take a banana and you freeze it and you put it in a food processor or a blender with a little bit of almond milk or oat milk, and it has to be frozen. You whip it up in there until it looks like the consistency of ice cream, and then you can put your own toppings like strawberries and bananas and almonds, and you can make it so good. Like I said, there's even cupcakes that you can use coconut flour, almond flour. You can use, I think in those recipes, sometimes they'll put honey or they'll put coconut sugar. So you don't have to like live deprived of eating good food. There are alternatives for all of the junk food that is out there. The more you eat foods that are live, like fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, and stuff that is just free of toxins and just junk and all these different things that are banned in other countries, but yet they put it in our food, right? Things that you can't even read, right? Because they're so difficult. I think they've even put like stuff that, like to kill rats and just different poisons, right? And then we wonder why people are so sick and so unhappy and so miserable. And it's because of the food that they're eating. Um, I, even recently in a few months, I've stopped even eating like some McDonald's. Sometimes I would stop buying it, just chicken nuggets or whatever. But as I'm putting it in my mouth, I'm like, it doesn't taste like real food. So you'll notice that too. Like, once you start eating just real food and start getting rid of the processed foods and the junk food and the fried foods, it's not going to taste the same. I will warn you, when you start trying to change your diet and trying to eat healthier, it might taste a little nasty, but you're grown. You can deal with it. It's worth it if you want to feel better. Trust me, that it's a short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, right? Your taste buds just need to get used to eating healthier. They will change. Just give it a couple weeks. Also, drinking water. Water used to make me nauseous. Put a little bit of lemon in there. You could put mint, cucumber. Just, do it so that you can tolerate it. It's just worth it, right? It's worth it. You are worth it. That's part of self-love. You taking care of your body and eating. And I know that food is expensive. I know this. But if you even look on YouTube, like, there's ways you can grow your own. There's certain herbs and fruits and vegetables that you can even grow in your home. that you can be able to save some money. So it's worth it. You are worth it. So stop eating all that junk. It's making you sick, not only physically, but mentally. And I want to hear your results. Even if it's in a couple weeks or in a month or a few months, if you start to change your diet, let me know. Send me a message, take a picture, whatever. Like, I want to see your results. I want to see you taking personal responsibility and taking control of your life and not just allowing your life to waste away. Because that's what happens. I remember when I was 20 years old and I was suffering from all of these different illnesses, and all I would do all day is lay on the couch. Imagine 20 years old living like I was dying. And a lot of people see me now that saw me then and they can't believe I'm the same person. And honestly, guys, most of what I did was change my diet. I changed my diet. And even now, if I'm not careful and maybe I start to go out to eat a little bit more and I start eating those junk foods, guess what? I start to get those fibromyalgia pains. I start to feel more down. I start to feel heavier. I start to not have enough energy. And it's because of my diet. So I'm not saying that it's going to be a perfect journey and a perfect path. But the more aware you become of how you feel when you eat certain things, then you can't turn your face from that. You're gonna start to notice, like, if you start changing your diet and you start eating healthier, and then let's say you're feeling great for a while, and then you start eating more sugar or greasy, fatty foods or junk food, and you start to feel like crap again, you're like, oh man, I notice a difference. So eating healthier is not just for your weight or, to be in shape, but it's for your mind to be in shape, for your mind to be sharp. Because a lot of times people don't think about that. They just think about the food they eat, about their weight, their physical weight, but they don't think about the weight they're putting on their brain. Like, you hear me? What you eat is also putting weight on your brain. It's making it heavy. It's not allowing you to think more clearly. It's not allowing you to be present with your kids, with your husband, when you're going on vacations. Like, you're just like a zombie. Also, don't overdo it with caffeine. Caffeine, it puts a strain on your adrenal glands, and your adrenal glands, they are important. When your adrenal glands are depleted, then that's what causes some anxiety as well. So I hope that you take this and you apply it and run with it. I know, because I've firsthand been there and I've seen the results. I see the consequences. And I want you to feel better, because how are you going to be able to be the best mom, the best businesswoman, the best spouse if you don't take care of yourself? And it starts with your diet. So your diet is not just, what you put in your mouth, but then what you're listening to, what you're watching, who you're talking to, who you're surrounding yourself with, right? But I'm just going to start there. Changing your diet about what you're putting in your mouth on a daily basis and being intentional. What's going to help you as well is planning ahead. If you plan ahead your meals for the week, your snacks, you know what you're going to eat. And then when you go to the grocery store, you're not just buying a whole bunch of random things, but you're being intentional and you're taking care of your body. Now, if your significant other or your husband or whoever doesn't want to join you, that's fine. That's their journey. But you are responsible for you. You're responsible for taking care of your health so that you can be your best self. You deserve it. All right. So thank you so much. If you have any questions, send me messages. I will be glad to share some websites or resources for you to help you to feel better, because that's what it's about, right? Life is a gift. Cherish it. Take care of it. There's so many people that wish they were in your shoes right now. People who are in the hospital, dying from an illness. People that aren't able to move and walk about, but you still can. So take advantage of that. And I look forward to hearing your stories. And so if you felt like this episode was great for someone that needs to hear it, please share it with them. It could potentially save their lives. And also, please leave me a star rating and review so that the podcast platforms can share this with more people around the world, because it's about changing and impacting and helping others, right? Make sure that if you are not following me on Instagram yet, follow me at Inspire Her Mindset. I'm also on Facebook, Rebecca Fillmore, and that's Rebecca with a K. So thank you guys for listening in, and I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless.